Hello, BookTube, and welcome back. It's it's very much awful weather in the UK right now. It's pretty bad. I think a storm is coming through in Merseyside right now. It's pretty much constant horizontal rain and the wind, so it's proper rank in the UK right now for weather, as it is most days anyway. But I'm British, so I'm allowed to complain. So, a nice segue to a tag that I found. This is the Finally Fall book tag. I believe it's 11 questions or whatever it is. And I thought I might give it a whirl. Why not? It's a horrible, miserable day. We're getting into the fall. Oh, by the way, in the UK, we don't really call it the fall. We call it autumn because, we're posh. So this is finally the autumn book tag if you're from our shores. So, question number 1. In autumn, the air is crisp and clear. Is it? Is it? Crisp, I agree, but clear, oh no, no. Name a book with a vivid setting. A vivid. So what colours does smack you in the face? Oh, wait, well, there we go. That was handy. I think I've mentioned this book before. It's a coffee style book. This is Wes Anderson's, accidentally Wes Anderson. If you don't know who Wes Anderson is, he's a director. He's done some pretty famous films. I think his mostly recent one is The Phoenician Scheme. But my favourite's The Royal Tenenbaums. He's done Moonrise Kingdom, The Grand Budapest Hotel. He's done some fairly good work, and his films are like very like artsy, French kind of cinema esque looking things, and he's got a flavour of uh, imagery. It's all kind of pastel colours. It's got to be all parallel, uh, pastel. Everything's like, I don't know what you call that kind of art. It's pretty much what I call Wes Anderson kind of, and it does slap you in the face, all this kind of art, and it's literally a book covering the whole of the world, which people have took photographs, and sent it to this website, and look at that. I think that's in Japan, I think, isn't it? So it's pretty good for the colourful. If you like Wes Anderson, oh sorry, here I am. If you like Wes Anderson, pick that up because it's a fairly good little book and a little read as well, and there's plenty of colour in there to slap you across the face. Okie dokie. Prompt 2. Nature is beautiful, but also dying. What kind of dystopian book tag have I gone onto here? Name a book that is beautifully written, but also deals with heavy topic like loss or grief. Now, I could talk about the one of the books from the Bailey Gift from this year, Things in Nature Merely Grow, which is a look at her child's suicide, but it's dealing with loss and grief in a very unique, stoic, analytical way. And that might not be everybody's cup of tea, so I'm going to go back to one of my old favourites. I'm going to talk about The Story of the Heart. This is by Rachel Clark. This is looking at a heart transplant between two children in the NHS in the UK, and I've said it before. This is grief on the page. This is how families deal with the loss of a child, and how other families hope for a transplant, and how the kid who needs a transplant deals with it. This is proper sobby kind of book. This is I think everyone should read it because it is a fantastic read. It's not massive. It's about 300 pages, but you've certainly got to be in the mood to read it because it is cry worthy, definitely. What one was that? So that's question 2. So question 3. Fall, autumn is back to school season. Share a non-fiction book that taught you something new. Well, I just talked about captors and companions, about the Islamic slave trade. I didn't know much about the Islamic slave trade, the different revolts against their masters, about the Corsairs stealing people from the Mediterranean to go into Africa, about the different slaves who actually rose to high positions, even threatening the Sultan's power. So there's a pretty much packed full of stuff that I did not know. I mean, it's a book about the slave trade, so it might not be everybody's cup of tea. So yeah, that's something that I read, that I learned something new. Question 4. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with people we love. Name a fictional family, household, friend group that you'd like to be a part of. Pass. um, the Simpsons? No, I no, that'd do me head in there. I reckon loads of people will pick like some sort of fantasy setting, but me, but no. Saying that though, I'd probably just spend my time with the wizards in the Unseen University in the Discworld series, because they're absolutely useless. And I'd feel like a hero in there. All they do is sleep and eat and maybe cause disaster now and again, but it's proper. Yeah, that's it. I like to spend time with the wizards in the Unseen University in the Discworld series. Question 5. The colourful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of autumn-coloured spines. So autumn-coloured would be yellows and oranges, won't it be? Oh, here we go, straight away. Oh, I've got loads. It's ridiculous. I've got loads. So this is a favourite. This is a favourite and a famous one. This is the Guns of August by Barbara. What is it? Tuchman. It's a look at the first few months of First World War at an orangey spine. Oh, fire and ice. This is a look at different volcanoes in the solar system. So it's not looking at Earth-based volcanoes. It's looking at volcanoes on the moons and all that. That's a really good read. You got your Bland Penguin non-fiction covers. So those are the orange coverings for the Stalin series. That's a third book. I need to check if he's actually wrote the third novel there, because it starts at Stalin's birth and goes all the way to Operation Barbarossa. So I've got to go to 1953 when he dies. I've got a few other ones. I can't see any yellow ones that stop. Are they in the same order? Yeah. A couple more orange ones. A yellow one up here. I've talked about this one as well. An Inconvenient Death. About the death of Dr. David Kelly. Did he commit suicide or was he murdered? It's a really good book. I'm not much into conspiracies and stuff like that, but like with all conspiracies, you've got that hook up and you've got to read more. So there are a few orangey yellow books that I have. Spines. So, autumn is a perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. Oh, I should have practiced for this tag. Okay, one of the most famous ones, because the first one that comes to mind, is in the fantasy series by Patrick Rothfuss. And the series I'm blanking on, but it's a slow regarded sound of things. I think I threw away the books as well, because I don't think he's going to write the third book in a trilogy, so I thought, sorry, I'm getting rid of it. Oh, people out there who are watching this, it's this, Alex, it's this, you idiot. But I can't remember. It's this fantasy series by Patrick Rothfuss. Famous now for the author not completing the series, but he is a good writer. It's all about this, the main character, Kroth, something like that, isn't it? And he's telling a story in an inn about his past life. But it's all one of them, is he actually telling the truth or is he not telling the truth? Because he's making himself out as like some sort of superhero. So that's going to wind me up there. The Slow Regard is that's the prequel to the first book, isn't it? In the Name of the Rose? No, that's a. Oh, no, I'm getting all mixed up now. No, so help me out there if you can remember. Uh, Question 7. The nights are getting darker. Share a dark, creepy read. I don't really usually get creeped out in books. I've read a lot of horror books. Like, meh with me, you know. Um, so I guess I'm trying to. Oh, real world examples. Helter Skelter. This is about Charles Manson. It's fascinating how to read about how people fall into a cult and then commit, you know, horrible murders. You know, it could happen to anyone. No, I don't think it can happen to anyone, but you know, this book is a really good read about the Charles Manson case and you know how he cultized, brought people into a cult, whatever. Those people who committed all those horrible acts. And reading about the trial was fascinating as well because they murdered the attorney as well, didn't they? Proper crazy stuff. So that's kind of like it'd be more for me. It'd be more non-fiction based creepy because I do read a lot of true crime as well, and so I love reading true crime. But there's a certain it makes me a bit uneasy. I guess is my best explanation here because it's actually happened to someone. You know, you're like oh. And there's people out there who would do these things to people. So I guess it's got to be a true crime for me. The night's getting dark. I've done that. Question 8. The days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. This is the problem here because I don't really do short stories at all. And all the short stories I can think of off the top of my head right now are not a heartwarming read. Is it most graphic novels can be counted as a? Oh no, most graphic novels can't be counted as a heartwarming read. Oh, that stuck me there. A heartwarming read. Even the one I read, the fantasy one in the realm of the Elderlings, that's not a heartwarming read either. A short story about a heartwarming read. Let's come back to that one. See if I can think of anything because right now I'm pulling blank because I don't really do short novels and 2 a cheery heartwarming one. Oh, I must have one out there somewhere. I'll come back to it. Name something. Name a drink that you like to have during the cold months while reading. I could be absolutely anything. I'm not like I'm reading, therefore I need X. No, I'm not a big water drinker. Funny enough, I think water's quite well, it is bland. It's minging to me. Water's minging. You need it to survive, Al. But it's you know I'd rather anything else but water. It's just it's the food equivalent of lettuce in it. You know, nobody is excited to have lettuce. But otherwise than that, it could be a cup of tea, could be a cup of coffee. Not hot chocolate. I can't stand hot chocolate. Chuck that out the window right now. It could be any juice. I don't have soft drinks, so it won't be Coca-Cola or Pepsi or any of that malarkey. Beer-wise, I'm a big Hobgoblin drinker. It's a ruby ale over in the UK. I'm not sure they've got it anywhere else. Lagers are like Heineken and Peroni. A bon appetit. I'm just going to run down everything I like drinking now. I like Pinot Grigio white wine. I like Merlot red. I do like a bit of Scotch, a bit of brandy. But you know, it's I might not drink at all. It just depends if if I'm thirsty or not. That short story is starting to really grate at me like a unreplaced Glade plugin, and I'm trying to think of a short book that I read that I think is heartwarming, and I'm pulling up blank. I am, folks. Oh, I guess as close as I can get to, because to me this is a tiny read, is The Wisdom of Wolves. This is a non-fiction book about about a couple. I can't remember what's the names. Jim and Jamie Dutcher, and they basically live with this pack of wolves. And this whole little book is this heartwarming tribute to their lives and their relationship with the pack. This is a really slim, nice little version. I think they got loads of pictures as well, or maybe not, of a good little nature book about wolves. This is really good. So I'm going to use that. Can't remember where I'm up to now. Calder, the Heartworm, I've done that one. Question 10. Autumn returns every year. Can you imagine if it didn't? Name an old favourite that you'd like to return to soon. So I actually do quite a lot of rereading, and I reread a number of things every year. So I'm trying to remember which I do, what order I do things. So in January to February, I do my reread of the Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, a couple of other things. I've got the history. I've got some nice covers up there of the history of Middle Earth as well. So I kind of like attack all them in the earlier months of the year. What else am I planning to reread? Later on, I usually reread the Duncan Chronicles. Or is it Duncan? I can't. Duncan Quest, Duncan Fan, whatever it is. It's silly fantasy books about moles. I've read these books for years and years and years now, and it just comes a time when I need me fix of mole fantasy. That sounds weird. And then when it comes to July, August, the book that I've reread the most, and if you've watched some of my videos before, you know what it is. It's up there. It's The Count of Monte Cristo, my favourite novel or book of all time. I absolutely adore The Count of Monte Cristo. It's a book about revenge. I am all up for that, and I don't care if it's 1,200 pages, 1,300 pages, whatever it is. I love it. Love it. And the last question, which I looked at the video and I was a bit stumped. I was like, autumn is the perfect time for cozy reading. Share your favourite cozy reading accessory. Accessory. Oh, go gadget arms. Accessory. Do you count a Kindle as the accessory? Since I read a Kindle, I've got no use for bookmarks anymore. I mean, even when I was reading physical, I'm sorry, I'm scum. I always dog-eared books. I'm not like, I smash them up. I don't really care. But other than that, accessories. What other accessories apart from bookmarks would you need? Highlighters. I don't highlight. What other accessories do you need for books? No. So the answer to that is I don't have an accessory for reading. I haven't got a pen where I make notes into the book. I don't know. The Kindle's kind of robbed all that. As in, you can highlight things, you can write in the Kindle. You don't need a bookmark for the Kindle. So I don't really have one. And I've got paperweights, if you want to count that as reading, but I don't use them. So I'm going to stop it there because I'm finding things to talk about now, and I'm trying to cut these videos off for 20 minutes now because my phone's like, Alex, you're running out of storage. Shut up. Anyway, I will talk to you soon. See you later, BookTube.